Transformers Rise of the Beast hits theatres on June 9th, that's under 100 days until the movie's release. So far we know the 7th instalment of the live action franchise will feature the Autobots, Maximals, Terrorcons, a few Decepticons and an unknown amount of Predacons. In fact, we don't really know anything about the Predacons except they will feature in Rise of the Beast, as they have been confirmed on the movie's official website. The lack of info for the Predacons has got me questioning if they will stay true to their 1996 Beast Wars designs, or if the movie will attempt to be accurate to Beast Wars characters. In all interviews, press junkets and trailers so far, there hasn't been a single tease of the Predacons, with the big bad for Rise of the Beast being the Terrorcons.
In our case, like in our specific film, I can't spoil it. Oh Jesus! It's more about good and evil. If the Autobots and the Maximals could work together to take out a bigger faction that we haven't seen on screen before, you know what I mean? And it's the Terrorcons, and the fans know where Terrorcons come from, then they know what to expect. But yeah, I feel like we have a lot to unravel, because this feels like a true reboot, if you will, into the Transformers franchise. So we're about to see a lot more beyond the Decepticons moving forward.
In the first teaser trailer released back in December 2022, it gave the impression that Scourge and his tribe of Terrorcons will be the main threat against the Autobots and Maximals. So what are the Predacons in Transformers Rise of the Beasts? During filming in Peru, there was leaked audio of Anthony Ramos' character Noah interacting with the Maximals, with dialogue being heard as to why they are searching for a key.
Sizing each other up. Cheetah brings his fangs closer to Mirage's jugular. Will Jack Nasty take aim at Rhinos as he claws the ground?
This audio tied in with unofficial leaked scripts of the movie, which mentioned both the Maximals and Terrorcons were searching for an ancient artifact, which presumably is the key. From the leaked info and speculation online, the key could be what unlocks the Predacons, who have likely been in some sort of stasis for millions of years. Freeing the Predacons would likely cause chaos on Earth, which could be the motive of the Terrorcons, and it's up to the Autobots and Maximals to prevent this from happening. Now before we get too carried away, that's just me speculating and going off previous info. But if my speculation is right, the main villain of the movie will be Scourge and his Terrorcons, with a search that builds to the release of the Predacons in the final battle. If so, could these creatures charging in the background from the teaser trailer actually be Predacons? These creatures seem to be being led by Terrorcon's Battletrap and Nightbird, which might mean they are part of the Terrorcon army, but perhaps these could also be an army of Predacons that have just been released. If the Terrorcons are supposed to be the big bad of the movie, what does this make the Predacons? A sub-villain? Possibly. One thing we do know is that Transformers Rise of the Beast is intended to kickstart a trilogy of Transformers films, taking the franchise in a new direction, so it would seem short-sighted for the likes of a T-Rex Megatron, Scorponok, Tarantulas, Pterosaur and Waspinator to rise in the final act, only to be dismantled by the Autobots and Maximals. Perhaps these creatures are the first line of the Predacons, and the main Predacons won't rise until the end credit scene, which sets up further movies. Or it could be that we've just not seen our beloved Predacons yet, and they're being kept secret for an epic nostalgia moment for fans in the theatres. If I had to make a guess, I'm leaning towards the Predacons might not be in what we'd expect for a Beast Wars inspired movie. It's worth noting that we haven't had a single leak of info when it comes to the Predacon figures in the Rise of the Beast toy line, and that could be telling. Another reason for my take is we've seen many franchise movies make use of raising a non-character specific army that culminates in the final moments of a film. The idea behind this is to stack the odds against the heroes, with an overwhelming scale of the army, as opposed to using more well-known name villains, only for them to be wasted if they're going to be killed off. Transformers director Michael Bay was often criticised for wasting key villains, and which is no doubt why we're seeing the Terrorcons instead of the Decepticons in the 7th instalment. Black Adam was the last movie to go down the generic army route, the villain Sabak summoned the Legion of Hell to terrorise Kandark, and if you've seen that movie, well, there's a reason why Black Adam isn't coming back. Obviously I have more faith in Stephen Caple Jr.'s take for the Predacons over the ideas that were created for Black Adam, and of course I could be completely wrong. In the end, we might just see a T-Rex Megatron and his tribe of Predacons rise on June 9th. But what do you think? If you're a Beast Wars fan, will you only accept the Predacons from how you knew them in 1996? Or are you open to another interpretation of a Predacon army, which attempts to overwhelm the Autobots and Maximals? And what are the creatures that are charging with Battletrap and Nightbird? Terrorcons or Predacons? Make sure to leave me a comment. If you enjoyed this discussion, why not drop a like on the video? And until the next one, thanks for watching.